hope y'all can hear me. I'm at the mall writing a book on how to move abroad and thrive. And also, I want to test out my new service plan with AT&T. Apparently, I have unlimited data on the weekends, so I can do some live streaming and stuff like that. Unlimited data after 9 p.m. So I want to make sure this works, and also just testing it out. Um, if anybody is in here and y'all can hear me loud and clear, let me know. You can leave a comment below. I'm at the mall and I'm gonna wait a few more minutes to give folks time to get in. Can y'all hear me well? I just want to make sure y'all can hear me before I flip the camera over. Can't hear me? Oh man, that's not good. Let me think something. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Somebody said they can't hear me. Okay, great. Can you hear me clearly? You want to make sure if I need to raise my voice because there's a lot of noise here in this mall. Can you hear me pretty good? All right. I'll try and talk a little louder. So I'm at the mall. Let me flip this camera around. So I'm at the mall. This particular mall here is called Alta Brisa. Beautiful mall. There's about 5 or 6 malls here in Merida. I'm in the food court. On the other end of this mall, they have an IHOP. They have a PF Chang's restaurant in here. They have Fuddruckers in here. This is all on the other side of the mall. They have a sushi spot over there as well. And on this side of the mall, they have the traditional food court. So you see some Burger King, you see a Pizza Hut, a sushi place, Burger King. There's a Krispy Kreme right over there. And I just bought some donuts. They had a 2-for-1 special today. So I stacked up on some of that for the kids. Because typically, whenever you buy an American brand, you're generally going to pay a whole lot more money. So let me see if I can turn this volume up. So I'm at the mall today because I decided that I'm gonna write a book. It's been on my topic for a while. Write a book called Move Abroad and Thrive. And so last night I started writing out my outline for the different chapters and stuff like that. And for me, I have severe ADD. In order for me to write and get my ideas, I have to be in a public place like this, where there's a lot of stuff going on. It sounds it doesn't make sense, but for me, I need that stimulation to be able to focus. Trying to sit in the house, now it took me about 5 hours to come up with these outlines when I was in the house last night. I could have done that in 30 minutes if I was in this environment like this. You know what I'm saying? So, out here writing a book on how to move abroad and thrive. So, if y'all have any ideas or suggestions on what you'd like to know more about, please type that up in the comments because that way I can incorporate it into the book. So, instead of me trying to figure out what people want in a book, y'all just let me know what you would like to see, what kind of information you would like to know as it relates to moving abroad, living abroad, acclimating to life abroad. You know, just let me know. Each place that you move to is a different culture. Every place you move to, I know a lot of people in the United States are like, man, I'm getting out of the United States. They got all these problems. You know, you're going to also run into other problems in other places. Every place has a problems. You know what I mean? Some places you might be able to cope with the problems better and cope with them more than you could from the place wherever you're at. You know, but every place is going to be different. Every place is going to have their issues. You know, here in Mexico and many Latin American countries, you know, it's very family-centric, very family-oriented. So even though I'm at the mall, as you can see this, This table right over here, they just pulled up 3 tables. This is in a food court in the mall because there can be a bunch of them sitting over there. These families come out in groups. It's not unusual to see 15, 20 of them roll up deep in this food court and pull tables together and eat together and just have a good time. Why? Family. Family here is everything. And again, this is not at a fancy restaurant. This is in a mall food court. They will roll 25 deep up in here and enjoy each other's time and company. Now, when you go to regular restaurants, you'll see the same exact thing. 20, 30 folks coming up in there. In fact, if 15, 20 folks don't show up, that would be unusual. So that will be a new norm that you will get used to, is seeing all these families together. The mom, the dad, the grandmom, the great grandmom, the aunt, the cousins, all of them. You know what I mean? So that would make this place very family centric. And there's a game room right over there. Kids can go in there and play. Many restaurants here in Merida, at least in Mexico, many restaurants, many bars will have a play area. Now that one you gotta pay. But many of the restaurants, they'll have an area for toys where kids can play, and there's always generally somebody in there watching the kids while the adults are hanging out, talking to each other, chilling and whatnot. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's it's different. It's different. Kim, my wife, hasn't fully adjusted to life here in Mexico. You know, for her, and maybe I can get her on video one day, is kind of expressing more, unfiltered, expressing her viewpoint. Because there's a lot she don't like, and while she's adjusted and is getting better, regularly she still asks, "Can we move somewhere else?" You know what I mean? But the kids love it here. They got some good friends. They learning the language. By the end of this year, they should be 100%, well, maybe 90% fluent. I don't want to uproot them being so close to being done. They're about to be done with school, and they want to go to college here. So, for me, it just doesn't make sense to leave while they're so close to finishing up school and want to continue on with college in this city. You know what I mean? One of the benefits to that, because if their Spanish continue to improve, going to college won't be an issue for them. They can get a 4-year degree, 4-year college degree out here for total going to run about $5,000 for a 4-year degree. And a lot of those degrees, depending on what they're doing or studying, will transfer over in the United States. Some careers may require them to take a test or something like that, or maybe take an extra quarter or semester of a class. But beyond that, hey, walk out of college with a $5,000, and that's all you owe. And that's going to a private college. The public college would be even less than that. So we got options. I'm trying to think it out long term. Thus the main reason I'm really not interested in, up and moving, because we're so close for them to accomplish the things that they need to do. My goal is to get them ready and prepared so they can go out into the world. And moving right now, it's just going to defeat that purpose. You know what I mean? It's going to delay it. It's going to take longer for them to adjust somewhere else, and and they're doing fine, and they don't want to go. So we're having that conversation back and forth a lot. So yeah. Let me look at some of these comments down here. All right. Can hear you clearly. That's a great. Chasing the American dream. How to depress and unlearn things. That's a good topic, Tanya. I think I'm going to add that to my list. Let me write that down now, just in case. Sometimes this thing will give me a transcript of the comments. Sometimes it won't. So I'm going to write this down. Hold on one second. How to decompress You know, honestly, how to decompress and unlearn things. I think that's the biggest issue. Probably the biggest reason why my wife is having a challenge adjusting. Um, there's a lot of stuff she just don't want to unlearn. There's a lot of stuff she just don't. Everything she complains about, she compares it to what it's like in the States. Every single time. And with that mindset, it's gonna be hard to adjust. You know what I mean? They don't do this like we do. They don't do that like we do. I don't understand why they do this. This don't make no sense. I hate the way they drive. She hate everything. And if you come with that mindset, unwilling to let go of some things and just accept, it's how they do things here. This is a whole nother place with a whole nother mindset, a whole nother set of values. Um, and so they ain't gonna do things the same way we do. They not trying to do things the same way we do. You know what I mean? And the reason a lot of people come here, and not just here, but other places as well, people come to places so they can get away from the regular way things are done. You know what I mean? I liken this to being like the United States 30 years ago. 30 years ago. You know what I mean? And, you know, you kind of get a throwback feel, like a Mayberry. You know, everybody's friendly. Um, Not so many rules and governance like we have in the States. You know, that could be a good thing and a bad thing. Uh, kind of like the Wild Wild West out here to a degree. A little bit more organized. Um, you know, a man or a woman when on their property, they can do whatever they want on their property. You know what I mean? And if they can make all the noise they want, and if it's happening on their property, the mindset is it's none of my business. You know, oftentimes foreigners will come here and they'll be like, man, them dogs is barking real loud. And yeah, them dogs can be annoying. But here, man, folks don't say nothing. But now us, we'll be complaining about all the noise. Funny thing though, over time, you learn to ignore them dogs. You don't even hear them. In our old house, our neighbor had several dogs. And they used to bark and annoy the heck out of us. About 6 months after living here, we was like, man, are them dogs still here? Did they give them dogs away? Because we never heard them. But then our daughter was like, man, them dogs bark every day. Them dogs ain't going nowhere. So we went around the corner and showed enough, all them dogs were still there. But we had got to a place where you just don't hear them no more. Sounds impossible, but it really is. You don't hear them because that used to be an annoyance for us. You know, but, you know, so, yeah, I think that's a great topic. Thank you for writing that. Scream as loud as you can, dude. How are you feeling about Akira? I don't know what that is. Can't wait to get there and just be able to breathe. But yeah, so again, for those of y'all that are just tuning in, I am writing a book called Move Abroad and Thrive. And I'm doing all my outlining and all of that stuff, trying to put everything together and get my thoughts together on paper and kind of mind map this thing out and mind map this thing out. And so if there are any topics that you would like me to address in the book, please write a comment on what you would like to know more about. Um, that way, instead of me trying to figure out what people want, I'd rather hear from y'all. What would you like to see in the book? What more would you like to know about? What information? What details? Tanya made a good suggestion: how to decompress and unlearn things. And that is a biggie. I think so many people run back to the States after being here 3 or 6 months because they just couldn't unlearn a lot of the stuff that they were taught. A lot of things, a lot of the complaints out of their mouth was, they ain't doing it right. This is not how you're supposed to do it. Well, maybe that may be true for how they do it where you come from, but they may do it differently here, and a lot of people just can't let that go. So there's a lot of stuff you just kind of need to unlearn. You know what I mean? Resetting your life at any age, mindset restructuring the other shoe. You are now, yep. Let me turn my phone off. Hopefully I'm still on. Okay. Yep, you're right, Greta. Um, we are the immigrant now, for sure. For sure. Earning money while abroad. All right, I'm going to write some of this stuff down right quick. Again, I'm at the mall. For me, I have severe ADD. Y'all will hear me repeat stuff a lot because people are coming in at different intervals. I'm at the mall, writing out the outline for my book. For me, I need a lot of stimulation to focus. That's how my brain works. Being in a quiet room doesn't help me at all. Earning money while abroad. Thank you for that. Buying versus renting. I do have that on my list already. So definitely we'll be talking about that. Senior living. Living their best life. Living on Social Security. Oh, these are some great topics. How to meet and make friends. These are some good topics. Dealing with emergency. And I'm just writing this stuff down. Being single. You know, I talked to my friend Malika, and I'm going to try and interview her again, talking more about this single aspect. It's different living here when you're by yourself, or being here with family, or being here with a spouse, or a boyfriend, versus by yourself. It's different. Oftentimes I see a lot of people, they'll stay in the house and they don't do anything, they don't get out. And reset in your life. I'm just writing this stuff down, y'all, sorry. But yeah, life can be different. You really, particularly for those that are coming by themselves, it's even more important that you find friends and or find things to do. It's very important because oftentimes I see people come here and they're shy, they stay to themselves and they stay locked up in the house. And after 3 months of that, they on a plane, they out of here. Making friends it's an effort. It's gonna require you to get out and do things. I oftentimes suggest folks figure out what hobbies you're into or hobbies that you used to do. Now that you have more time on your hand, you're able to do a lot of these hobbies that you weren't able to do before. And so in the act of doing these hobbies and taking these classes, you will meet other people, locals, that will be, that you can make friendships with. So you definitely gotta get out. You gotta get out, especially in a place where you don't know the language. That's another thing. Take some Spanish classes. They give you opportunity of meeting other folks as well. Going out, practicing. The people here are very friendly. Most of the people that we know comes from my kids being in the activities that they're in. Like when we take Charlie to horseback riding class, we gotta wait. We sit out there for an hour. And there's other parents out there for an hour waiting on their kids to finish up. So guess what happened? We start talking. And before long, as you're talking to all these folks, you are running into them at other stores and venues. And it's like, oh, hey, there's such and such. And before long, you're hanging out at the beach. going out to their house for a cookout or whatnot. You know what I mean? So there's lots of things to do to meet friends. Great beaches and things to do in Mexico. Thank you for that. I'm writing it down now because sometimes this app won't send me the comment feed. Things to do in Mexico. Winter season. So Alexandria said, I had my baby here, maybe birthing tourism. You know, that's a good idea. Just talking to somebody about this the other day. I was able to get permanent residency through my child. You know, there's a lot of people, you know, and people do it all the time. They come to America and have babies. But Americans, a lot of Americans don't consider the idea of going to other countries as well and having their children there. So they can get permanent residency through the child, just like Alexandria has said. Um, you know, so that's the thing. I met a family here about a year ago. They came here, they had a baby here in Mexico, and they were going to have their next child in Argentina. So they were going to hit up a few other countries, and one of the eventual goals was to end up in Southeast Asia, have a baby there somewhere. Can't remember where the area, but that's the thing. You know, I wish I was smart enough to kind of think that through when I was younger and having children. You know, I had 5 children could be residents in 5 different countries. You know what I'm saying? But I was slipping on that. So yeah, thank you for that, Alexandria. How to purchase raw land. All right. How to purchase raw land. What to look out for. Man, y'all coming up with the topics. Purchasing a vehicle. All right. Rest, enjoy your life. Is that mall? Yeah, that mall here is Alta Brisa. Integration and collaboration with families. All right, got that. Learning Spanish. Yeah, Alta Brisa is a beautiful area. It's growing. A little more expensive than many areas. I'm writing these things down. I got some good ideas up in here. I'm running out of paper. Dealing with depression. All right. Yeah, I got the Krispy Kreme. All right, so Lisa Brown, please address the cartel. What family members fear most? You know, I don't. There's all sorts of rumors about why there's peace or very little or no cartel activity in Merida. Some say the cartels have made this a safe zone area for all their family members to come and live and hang out, and no business is necessarily conducted here, and it's a safe space. Now, some people say that's a rumor, but whatever it is, there's just been no violence out here like it has in other parts of Mexico. So, drug activity, you know, if it happens, we don't see it. Just like I know there's gang activity, drug activity, um, human trafficking activity in Atlanta, Georgia. But because we're not actively involved in that type of stuff, it's very rare that we'll be affected by it per se. And so I go out on the limb and say, when you look at the data, foreigners that come back and forth here to Mexico, I mean, the violence and crime against them is very, very so low, it's almost insignificant. And for those folk where things do happen, most of the time, they were involved in illegal activity that they shouldn't have been in. Now, of course, there's always the instance where innocent bystanders get caught up in crossfires. But when you compare the rates to foreigners being hurt or killed or kidnapped compared to foreigners, to citizens living in the States, and the numbers are night and day. It's zero comparison. So cartel activity in this region is not a safety issue. It's not an issue for folk that are living here. Now again, you go looking for trouble, you're gonna find it. No doubt about that. Um, but I don't have the least bit of concern for my safety. Uh, now that I've been here going on 3 years in June. Still got to use good sense, of course, but my guard is so far down, it's insane. I can't let my guard down this much in the United States. You know what I'm saying? So, again, it's I don't know, it's great. Um, yeah, here, like Conscious Goddess says, the cartel won't bother you there, here, and it's not much happening here in terms of that. Yeah, that KFC, somebody brought that up. This KFC is like the Kentucky Fried Chicken from 30 years ago, before they started jacking up the formula in the States. You know what I mean? It KFC be good, real good. Um, that's be the first page to get out of the way. Personal needs and products abroad. Okay. Huh? See. Personal needs and products. Little kid asked me if he could take my chair. I actually understood what he said. For some reason, when little kids talk Spanish, you understand better. It's clean, they use simple, basic words. Um, keep telling my friend that. Yeah, Lisa, yeah. Your friends, man, I'm gonna tell you, and we get the same pushback. Everybody that come down here, they all say the same thing. They get the same pushback. Family and friends ain't gonna understand why you trying to come to Mexico. No matter what you tell them, they just ain't gonna get it because they've been brainwashed the same way you and I have been brainwashed. Mexico was so far from my mind when I thought about moving abroad. It was the last. I ended up here on complete accident. There was never my intention to come here, or even a thought. Although it's right on our border, and man, I hate I didn't come out here 20 years earlier because this place is awesome. It is amazing. The people are amazing. But like all the other propaganda we get pushed on the news and in the States, we've been fed a bunch of lies, a bunch of myths, and just a bunch of false information, a whole lot of fake news. You know what I mean? So you ain't gonna be able to convince your family and friends. You just gotta come out here because that's what you wanna do. And trust me, they will show up. After they see and realize that you're still alive 6 months later, they'll come see you. They'll come see you. You know what I mean? So just keep it moving. You know what I mean? Don't explain yourself. In fact, it's probably best not to share because they will get in your head and mess you up. Mindset. Let me write that down on my list. Family in. All right. So driving and receiving driver license. All right. We're working on that one now with my 17-year-old. All right. Thinking about buying some land. Alternatives to your personal products. So the main thing my girls complain about, and they've adjusted. Just so y'all know, is I'm gonna just say it because I got 4 daughters and a wife, so 5 girls I contend with daily. Um, tampons, not tampons, pads. They complain about the quality of the pads here. So if that's an issue, quite a few people they will bring a whole suitcase full of them so they can have a stash. They complain that the quality here is not that great. So if that's an issue in terms of personal feminine products, you know, make sure you bring what you need. Whenever we do go back, they do bring some extras with them. Um, so if that's an issue for you, bring some extra stuff. Thank you, Lisa, on them Spanish skills. Um, I survived almost 25 years in Los Angeles, land of the Crips and Bloods, so I know I'll be fine in Mexico. Moved to Los Angeles from Atlanta in 2000 when the blocks were real hot. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna tell you something. If you can make it in the States, you'll be fine here. Particularly this area, Merida, and there are many other cities throughout Mexico that are very safe. You ain't gonna have no problems. I promise you. It's all propaganda. You know what I mean? It's all propaganda. They are nervous but on board. There you go, Cynthia. Well, somebody says you are safe because you are American. Maybe so. But if that's the reason, I'll take it. I'm not going to look for any excuses to not be, to make it so that to make it make sense. You know what I mean? If I'm American and that keeps me safe, I'll take it. However, there are Mexicans moving here from all over Mexico. They are the Mexicans from other states in Mexico. They're the biggest demographic, the largest demographic of folk flowing into this city. So if what this guy just stated was the reason, it don't even make sense because we make up less than half of a percent, significantly less than half a percent of the population. The growth overwhelmingly is other Mexicans from other states flowing into the city because it's safe and because nobody messes with them. Have nothing to do with us being American. I talk to these folks every day. Many of my clients are local Mexicans from places like Monterrey, from some of the other wealthier states in other cities and states in Mexico. And they telling me that's why they coming here. You know what I mean? So again, very important you get information and listen to people, that are actually here and on the ground. And I'm talking to these locals, man, on a daily basis. Many of these folks have taken pay cuts from their previous jobs so they can come here and provide a safe place for their kids and their family. You know what I mean? Um, so I'm at Alta Brisa Mall. This is on the northern side of Merida. Um, Beautiful area, kind of expensive on this side. There's a lot of growth here, a lot more traffic. As I mentioned earlier, and I'm just repeating myself for new folks that are coming in, I'm at the mall. I'm writing a book called Move Abroad and Thrive, getting topic ideas from you all, writing out outlines and stuff like that. And for me, I need to be stimulated in order to concentrate. Being at home in a quiet house messes up my focus. So being in a place like this gives me opportunity. Now, this family over here on the right, I'm gonna tell y'all this. I said this earlier on in the broadcast. Mexico is a family-oriented place, and it's not unusual for 20 family members to come up here and eat together. They'll pull 5 and 6 tables together, and they will eat together. They will sit here for hours. Grandmom, granddad, children, kids, aunts, cousins, uncles, and just chill. And if I spin this around, let me see, because the lunch crowd is just over. See another family right here. See that? It's a family-oriented country. Family is everything. And any other restaurant you go to, traditional restaurants, it's not unusual to see 25, 30 family members. They'll roll up, pull the table down, and just chill. Family is first here. You'll see kids walking, teenagers, teenage boys holding their mama hand. Teenage girls holding their mama hand. See this little girl right here got a mom on the shoulder. That's a common sight. They will hold their hand. And I'm talking about 18-year-old boys, 17-year-old girls holding their daddy hand. You know what I mean? You look at them, you're like, wait a minute, that's his girlfriend? No, that's his daughter. You know what I mean? That's what they do here. Very family oriented. And you'll see this especially on Sundays. Especially. So the lunch crowd is starting to die down. But yeah, so I'm at Alta Brisa Mall, working on the outline for this book. So if y'all have ideas or topics you would like to see in the book, things you'd like to know more of, as I write this book, I'll get into more detail. If I could find me a spot for $40,000 with a pool sold, might not be able to find a spot with the pool for $40,000, but you can find a spot and then add the pool. So you can find a spot for $40,000 and then add the pool, because the land, in many cases, you'll have enough space in the back to add a pool. Here's what the shocking part: adding a pool might only be $3,000, $4,000. So it's not necessary to find a house with a pool when for $3,000 or $4,000 more you can add a pool. Pools here are not expensive. It's literally just concrete. They'll set it all up and get a pretty sizable pool. You know what I mean? A pool is very inexpensive. Very, very inexpensive. So don't necessarily rule out a house because it doesn't have a pool, but just make sure you got enough space to put the pool in the back or on the side or however. Just make sure you got space for it. Going to Cozumel for Easter. You know, I just got a notification. I guess there is a warning that was put out due to cartel activity, particularly in Cozumel. So look into that. So, because I was intending to go myself, and a friend of mine just sent me an alert this morning saying, hey, due to increased activity, some of the hotels in the area have started canceling reservations to people coming to stay at the hotel. So trust me, when hotels start canceling reservations and giving folks their money back because they care more about the safety of their folks, that's probably a good sign you might want to stay away. So I'll post some information on that today on our website. So I'm glad you brought that up, because that was a reminder. Apparently it's relatively safe many other times out the year, but something's going on right now in that region. So that's about 5-6 hours away from Merida. It's not in the Yucatan state, although it is in the Yucatan Peninsula, I believe. I'm in the same mall. I'm sitting at a table near you. Where are you at? Somebody, come on over here and talk to me. We had somebody say they here. Come on over here wherever you are. Who that? Elise. I'm sitting at a table near you. Come on over here. You know what I'm saying? Come on over here, Elise. So hopefully she'll show up and maybe she can give y'all some feedback from her perspective. I hope I don't run her off. Don't get caught with your camera. I'm keeping sharp and I ain't gonna do. Come on over here, Elise. Let's have a chit chat over here. Share your feedback about Merida. Hey Cortez, my husband and I are coming to Mexico City. We're planning to hit up Merida. I'm not sure if I should get with you or Nikki. Yeah, shoot me an email, Cortez@CortezRoss.com or support@moveabroadandthrive.com. What city are you in? I'm in a city called Merida. 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 And see the girl right here holding her mama hand. Really want to bring a car, but the drive make me weak. Yeah, man, I'm gonna tell you something. If I could have my car, I would have brought it. Now we got by just fine the first 2 years, but life would be a whole lot easier with a car. You know what I mean? So if I had to do it all again and I could have brought my car, I would have brought it. Can I find land for 3,000? I imagine you can. I don't know the quality of it, how big it is. That's another story. But you can find land for prices varying from all the different degrees. You know, um, so yeah, I mean, you can find land for a few $100s probably. Now, do you want the land? But like anything else, it's gonna require the research, um, determining what the price is for land in a certain area. The land in one part of town versus the other side of town going to be drastically different. Buying land in Montebello is going to cost way more than buying land in Juan Pablo Dos. So it's relative to a bunch of factors. Rent versus buying, okay, I got that. You can't film people. I don't know what they talking about. Public place, you can film anybody. I like that pool cost. Yeah, 3,000 for a pool. Exactly. I mean, you can find some, and some of these folks will even finance it out for you. You know what I mean? And pay it out. But yeah, getting a pool built is very, very, very affordable. Meet me in the mall is going down. They're almost closed down. Blah, blah, blah. Just reading the notes here. So yeah, again, I've been repeating myself because more people are popping on. Hanging out at the mall here in Mexico. I'm coming up with an outline for a book on how to move abroad and thrive. So getting some ideas and some notes from you all. And while I'm here, just decided to do a live video. Plus, I got my phone. I wanted to test out my phone plan. The plan I got, I signed up with their new plan with AT&T Mexico. I think I pay like $20 a month, and I get unlimited data on Saturdays and Sundays. So like this live stream is not costing me anything. So Saturdays and Sundays, unlimited data, unlimited streaming, and unlimited data streaming from 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. I believe. So I'm gonna start doing a lot more streams like this and whatnot. So just like I said, just hanging out here at the mall, just showing y'all. Man, I'm gonna tell you something. The folks here is nice. I'm looking at this guy over here standing in line at Burger King. Got on a shirt, local guy. Jesus loves you. There, one of the reasons why I like Mexico versus Colombia, there's a lot more English-speaking people here versus, say, Colombia. Your Spanish had to be on point to get around in Colombia, whereas here, you generally have more English-speaking folks. So that's a plus. That was a plus for me when making the decision to move here. I didn't have to be so right, getting so tight on my Spanish. Although I would tell you, learning Spanish will drastically improve your quality of life. The Spanish I know now versus 3 years ago, which was practically no Spanish, Um, the more I know now, it makes my life better. So I can imagine if I can ever get to 50, 60% fluency, oh man, we talking about game level changing thing right there, life changing stuff right there. Because now you're able to communicate more, get around more, have conversations. So knowing what I know now, I would wish I would have spent more time practicing and learning my Spanish. I got bored with the classes. The classes kept feeling like they were coming by too quick. Every time I turned around, it was time to go to class. I didn't learn everything that the teacher taught the day before, and so it was overwhelming. But I wish I would have stuck with it, because if I had stuck with it, my Spanish would be so much further along now. However, I'm I'm still able to get around and do what I need to do with the limited Spanish, and it's not enough to keep me from moving. I will definitely continue to stay here. It's not going to run me off. But when you first get here, it can be overwhelming. The language barrier, that is a real thing. So if you can focus on trying to spend your time, and maybe even the first 6 months of your time here, just get as involved as you can with that Spanish, because it's going to be a game changer for you. Uh, they had that. Let's see. Are there spicy Mexican donuts? I didn't see any in this Krispy Kreme, but I imagine some of the locals probably make their own variation and probably have spicy donuts, because a lot of everything here is spicy. You know what I mean? So they got spicy drinks. One of my favorite margaritas down in Central. I don't know what they do. They make their margarita on the rocks, and they put these jalapenos in there and some other kind of red spice. Man, that thing be so good. It don't make no sense. That thing be good. Had that right spice on it. Not overwhelming, but boy, it's enough to get you going. That was a good drinking margarita right there. Is that a spider on the guy's back? What? I don't see no spider. I hope it wasn't no spider on somebody's back. We'll talk to our neighbors in Cozumel that own a bar there. We'll update you on the violent issue. Anyway, time to go pack. Got an early flight tomorrow. Awesome. Yeah, please keep me updated on that. I would like to know more about it, because we were planning a trip possibly down there next weekend ourselves. Um, so yeah, please keep me posted on that. So I don't know. I don't know what else to talk about, y'all. I would walk outside and let y'all see around there, but it's hot as day out there. Um, we'll talk to our neighbors. Yes. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get off and finish writing up this outline. And any of y'all got questions about moving abroad, feel free to book a consultation. We also have a VIP members area on our website. We post private interviews there. We have interviews with real estate attorneys, immigration attorneys, where our members can talk to them directly during a live event and ask questions directly. So if you'd like to become a member, take a look at it, moveabroadandthrive.com/VIP, and take a look at that. Let me know what we can do to help you. If you need to book a consultation, visit our website, moveabroadandthrive.com. And hey, look forward to meeting y'all in person. So I'm going to get off, and y'all have a nice day.